does go over some of the things regarding, some additional things regarding total cost of ownership in more detail than we went over in Chapter 1. So this is what the start of the total cost of ownership form looks like. You're given a scenario where you work for the Technology Services Department at Madison College. Then you're given all of the information that you need to complete the total cost of ownership assignment. So you have an upgrade project that you're working on where you're upgrading 20 computers and 3 4-color laser printers. So a total of 3 printers and a total of 20 computers. You're given the cost of each workstation along with peripherals, the cost of each printer, and then some of the hidden costs are below in this form, such as operating system licenses, paper costs, toner for the printer, setup, maintenance, help desk costs, things like that. I'm going to scroll down to the worksheet form. Then on the second page, you're asked to complete the information in this total table. I'm going to bop on over to the spreadsheet that you'll use to complete that table on that form. So I'm going to scroll up to the top of the spreadsheet. All of the cells in this Excel spreadsheet that are highlighted in yellow, you'll get the information from that form that I just showed you, and you'll fill in a number. So for example, in cell C4 here, you have the quantity for the number of workstations for this project. So you'll enter in the quantity, and then you'll enter in the unit cost. And then you'll see if you click on cell F4, I already have a formula in here that calculates the capital costs or the startup costs, those two things are the same thing, for the workstation. So the capital cost for the total for all of the workstations is reflected in cell F4. And you'll see that after you enter in a quantity. So for example, let's say I was ordering 5 workstations at a cost of $1,200. When I hit enter, you can see the deployment costs or the startup costs or the capital costs for 5 workstations at $1,200 is $6,000. I'm going to delete those because that isn't actually the right number. So as you enter in the information from the form onto this spreadsheet, you'll see that the formulas on the right-hand side, for the most part, update. So there are certain numbers that you'll get that you'll need later on, and I'll explain that in a moment. One thing that I want to clarify is the printer duty cycle. Many students are confused about the printer duty cycle, and I just want to make sure that it's clear. I'm going to go over to the form and scroll up just a little bit. Here you'll see it in number 4. You have a printer duty cycle, which is 15,000 pages per month. All the duty cycle means is that you're typically going to be printing 15,000 pages per month on any particular printer. So that's all this means, that 15,000 number. So then, based on that, you're going to calculate paper costs, your printer contract. You have 3 of them. The contract here I indicate is per month. So pay attention to the units that you're entering the information in so that you make sure you get a correct number. The other thing I want to point out is that for this particular total cost of ownership assignment, you're required to actually get the correct numbers. So if you recall in Chapter 1, that was one of your first assignments, and you were asked to provide the total cost of ownership using the calculator, the online calculator. And in that assignment, I indicated you didn't really have enough information to be able to calculate the correct number. And I wasn't expecting a correct number, I was expecting a good estimate. For this assignment, you do have enough information based on what I'm asking you to include in your total cost of ownership for this project to get the right numbers. So you can see in the second column for under the operational costs, I have year 1, year 2, and year 3. Because this is a 3-year life cycle, we have to consider that when we consider total cost of ownership, which is something that your book also covers, is the total life cycle of the equipment that you're purchasing. So you probably have noticed I have 3 cells that are in pinkish red. Cells F32, F33, and F34, you are required to add a formula in order to calculate those costs. In the Chapter 7 assignment, one of the PowerPoints I have in Blackboard has information on how to create a formula in Excel. If you don't remember how to do it, or that was an assignment you chose not to do, please go back to that PowerPoint to get information on how to enter a formula in Excel. So just a little bit further explanation on this one. So after you have entered all of the numbers in the cells that are highlighted in yellow, you're going to go down to cell F32, which is the cell I'm clicking on, and you're going to enter in a formula that calculates the total cost of ownership for just the workstations. So what you're going to need to do, this is an addition, a cell that will use addition for the math, and you're going to go up in this worksheet and you're going to indicate which cells may or represent the numbers that need to be included for the total cost of ownership for just the workstations. Then you're going to go to cell F33 and you're going to do the same thing for the printers. So you're going to break down the total cost of ownership for this project for the printers. And again, that is a cell that will only use addition. Then in cell F34, you're going to add together the total cost of ownership for the workstations and the printers. So you're simply going to add cells F32 and F33 to get the information for F34. So cell F34 will represent the total cost of ownership for this entire project over 3 years. So please keep that in mind, that you want to make sure that when you're calculating total cost of ownership for the workstation and the printer, that you're getting the 3-year total, not just the first year. Then you should be able to go over to the form. Once you have all that, and I have information that I want to make sure that you fill out. And with this information, you're telling me that you know how to read your spreadsheet and what numbers mean what from that spreadsheet. So that's why I require you to complete both. So you're going to save the form, and then you're going to save the spreadsheet, and both of those will be submitted to Blackboard to complete this assignment. Then you'll have one other assignment to complete that should be pretty self-explanatory, and then the quiz for Chapter 8. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Thanks.